Now then, Scunny fans, whoever said it was going to be easy? Away at Chester yesterday, I met my niece there. My niece lives in Stoke. We met up to watch the game. It's her first game she's watched for a while. It wasn't the best of games for her to see after some of the good football we've been playing this year. Where do we start? I think if we're all being honest as Scunny fans, and we generally all are, we really weren't at the races, be it for a few chances that we had. We did have the ball in the back of the net with Boyce. It was given offside from where I was sitting. It didn't look offside to me, but it was also, I would have said it was quite a struggle to pick it out anyway through a melee of a crowded box. It was a right sort of melee, so it was difficult to see anyway. But it looked onside from where I was sat, and speaking to other supporters, maybe people say we're biased because we're Scunny fans, so to speak, but being honest, it didn't look offside. I haven't seen it on telly yet. I want to have a look at it on telly and then make a sort of better view of it. It wasn't a great game. I didn't think Chester were a particularly good side as such either. The difference between the two teams for me was there was much more clinical in front of goal. We seem to make lots of mistakes in terms of the passing. I thought we looked like, what's the word I'm looking for? We looked sort of down in the dumps. You then start asking questions. Is everything what's going on in the background at the club, does that have an effect on the players? I think it probably must do. It's a place of employment for them in the same way as other people, and if you feel like your job may be under threat because there's no certainties yet with the ground debate still going on at the moment, maybe that's, let's give the players a bit of benefit of the doubt. And I did see there was people saying already, well, Jimmy Dean hasn't got it, this, that and the other. I think you've got to give the manager until the end of the season. For God's sake, the guy's had a serious operation for a start, so he's been missing in action through no fault of his own. And at the end of the day, we're still fifth in the table. The Chester manager on the interview after the game even said he believes that Scunthorpe will still finish top of the table, and I've no reason to doubt what he says. Yes, it's not looking good, and it's been a bit shaky of late, the performances. But when you take into account everything that is going on at the club, it is difficult. I mean, for me, that was my first time back at Chester since 1983, when we won promotion under Alan Clark. That was a hell of a day. It was a horrible, wet day. The pitch was like a ploughed field. I remember at the end, because we'd gained promotion, running onto the pitch, and I fell head first in all the bloody mud and was sat on the bus all the way home, wet and soggy and covered in mud. Yeah, it was a real joy coming home. But yeah, that was my last visit there. At least we was winners then. But yesterday it was, I don't think we ever looked like we could win the game. In terms of the attendance, it was a good turnout from Scunthorpe, even though it could have been even more. There was a crowd of 2,676 there. I think that's bigger than what they usually get. But I think we could have sold double our allocation of what we had, but they're under restrictions by the council, I'm led to believe. In terms of man of the match, if I was going to pick anyone, I was debating between two. It had to be either Ogle and Scales for me. Nobody really stood out particularly well. So I don't know. We go again on Tuesday night. We're at home to Spennymoor. Let's hope that we've got two home games coming up. Let's hope we can get maximum points from those two games, and then it'll all look different again. But I would say to Scunthorpe supporters, don't get downhearted straight away just because we've had one or two bad results. the season's a long season. There's a long way to go. We're still in there. We're still in there with a chance. So, you know, we've got to keep having that belief and that hope. So, yeah. So take care, everybody, and up the iron.